and it's a Quaker brand or something. But now it's like $2.70 or something. It just keeps going up. And I mean, it was like $1.25, $1.50, whatever, when this pandemic, I think they call it. I don't really. Anyway, whenever whenever the government decided they'd start shutting places down and not letting them work in 2020, prices started going up, and government's throwing money at the problem, but not really. They weren't addressing the real problem, which was not letting people and businesses operate. Anyway, all of this money started chasing these products, and things got out of hand. We knew they were going to. I was laid off for 56 days, and government couldn't throw enough money at me, so I took them up on it. I mean, I knew, it was going to hit the fan sooner or later, so that's when we started investing in the water purification and the generators, and started honing up our skills of growing our own food and such. Anyway, knowing that sooner or later, somebody was going to have to pay the piper, and sure enough, here it comes. And, the price of grits doubles, which sucks. I'm looking at eggs. We've never fed our kids store-bought eggs, or commercially produced eggs. We were getting, I think we got eggs from somebody, and when we found out the kids liked them, then we got our own chickens, and we were actually, sometimes we were hard pressed to eat all of our eggs because we had so many of those. But I hear now that those are like $6 a dozen, and that's bad enough. But we went to buy potatoes last week or the week before last, maybe the week before last. It was $9.97 for a 10-pound bag. And I thought maybe that was a mistake when Jennifer told me that that's how much it was, or $9.96. I thought it was some sort of mistake. I was like, you must be talking about like for 10 pounds of the big baking potatoes. And she's like, no, it was just a regular bag. Next time I was at Walmart, I looked. It was either $9.96 or $9.97 for a 10-pound bag of potatoes. Well, that was crazy. Now I see that the price is down to like $7 for a 10-pound bag, which is still kind of crazy, right? They're potatoes. But that's all right because we got it figured out, and I can grow potatoes. It's not one of my favorite things to grow, and you have to worry about potato bugs and that kind of thing, but I can grow potatoes. I can grow eggs, or grow chickens who have eggs. Grits, I can't really grow grits. We did find a cheaper alternative, that a 5-pound bag for $5, but all of that's beside the point. The inflation keeps growing every month, but then these clowns, these politicians, say that inflation is going down. No, the rate of inflation is slowing. It's not going down. The prices aren't reversing, so inflation isn't going down. When they kept saying that, I was trying to figure out what they were talking about, right? Because it sounds great when this guy's up there saying, oh, inflation's going down. Well, what he meant is instead of it being 10% inflation this month, it's only 9% inflation this month. Well, damn, that's not going down. That's just, it's not as much as it was. The rate of increase isn't as much as it was last month. And you start looking at these prices month over month and year, for a whole year, and the inflation is nuts. And they just want to pretend like there's no problem with that. But where is that going to end? I mean, I can't believe that it can keep on forever without everything just crashing down. It's got to stop at some point, right? They're talking about the price of a new car is less than it was last year at this time. Well, you know what? I can't afford a new car. There's no way. Even if I were still working my corporate job, I couldn't afford a new car then. I mean, my car is what is it? It's 15, 18 years old. I'm putting new motors in it and that kind of thing, and waiting for the transmission to go out because I know there are people, that are mortgaged and they have loans and everything up to their eyeballs. And yeah, I guess you guys are driving new cars. Me, I don't want to live that way. I'm not sure that anybody would give me any money anyway if I wanted it, but I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live under somebody else's thumb. But yeah, here I am living under Walmart's thumb, right? Because if they charge $9.96 for a 10-pound bag of potatoes, what am I going to do? I pretty much got to buy the potatoes at this point. I won't have to at this point next year as long as everything goes well, because I should be able to grow a couple of 100 pounds of potatoes, and that ought to get me through an entire year. So we'll see how that one turns out. So I think I'm going to call it quits here for the night. It's after 11. I've been at this for a while tonight, and I still have to get up in the morning, and I am hyped up on coffee right now. I'm still drinking coffee, and it's after 11 o'clock. That doesn't sound too smart, right? But I do appreciate everyone listening. It means a lot to me. I don't deserve it, yet I keep coming back. And thankfully, some of you guys keep coming back time after time. If you do get anything out of the podcast, please consider supporting the podcast in some shape, form, or fashion. There's a lot of ways you can do that. You can let me know what you think about this episode or the podcast in general. Send me an email. It's easy. frontporchanarchist@gmail.com. Pretty simple, right? Unhyphenated Anarchist at gmail.com. If you get a chance, text the link to the show to your friends. I know that doesn't sound like much, but that does make a difference there. If you're texting the link to the show, they're tracking you guys. Send a message to your friends through some sort of social media app with the link to the podcast in there. You can just go to the Facebook page for Front Porch Anarchist and find the link to the show there, and just send it through Messenger, whatever. You have friends that need to listen to this, right? Maybe they just need a little help realizing that there's something more to life than the old left-right paradigm, right? Maybe. If you'd like to support the show monetarily, you could buy an Unhyphenated Anarchist t-shirt. You can either buy it directly from me, or you could buy it. There's a link here to that t-shirt on Teespring. I like making t-shirts, so if you want to send me a message telling me that you want one of those, that's great. If you want to get it through Teespring, that's fine. I end up making about the same amount of money off of either one of those. If you want to see some of those Unhyphenated Anarchist t-shirts, just look me up on social media, Facebook or Instagram or even MeWe, and you can see some examples there. And another t-shirt that I'm thinking about offering is an unapologetic voter t-shirt. And this would be for people to give to their friends who are just unapologetic voters, right? The people who think it's their civic duty to go vote. These are the people who are wearing the "I voted" stickers on election day, right? But there's also, a picture of a clown on the t-shirt. And, I can see it now. I can see, just kind of doing it as a gag for somebody who you know and you like and who you can get along with, even though they're just full-on statist, right? They're just unapologetic about it. I went and did my civic duty today, and I voted. I paid my taxes, and I did this, and I did that. And you guys get along, and you're good-natured about it. I could see you giving that to your friend. I could also see someone giving it to like a coworker anonymously, leaving it on their desk or on the hood of their car or whatever, and so they get this t-shirt that says unapologetic